Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. My name is Stein Solberg. I'm one of the co-chairs of the 2009 TAMY Awards. On behalf of the Technology Association of Georgia and the TAG Marketing Group, I would like to thank you for coming to the 9th Annual TAMY Awards and the Technology Marketing Executive of the Year. We've got a great program for you today and really appreciate all your support. It's a great turnout. Today we have Frank Baya and his team from TAG TV videoing the event on HD. Make sure to check out TAG TV website in a couple days to see the broadcast. I'd like to first begin by thanking our generous sponsors. The Platinum TAG sponsors who generously support TAG are Capgemini, JBN Consulting, McKeeson, North Highland, Primus Software, Pyramid Consulting, and Verizon. Thank you. Our Gold TAG sponsors are the Georgia Research Alliance and Telex. Thank you. Our Gold TAG marketing sponsor is Archetti. And with us today we have Mike Newmeyer, who's going to come up and say a couple words about Archetti. Thank you, Mike.
Had I known this was going to be HD TV, I would have made sure I had the proper makeup on this morning. A little bit worried about it. My name is Mike Newmeyer. I'm a principal at Archetti. We are a PR and marketing firm here in Atlanta that specializes in business-to-business technology. We want to thank TAG and Tino for all the great work. We're obviously very proud of our community here. We're very proud that University of California System has rated Atlanta the best city for entrepreneurs. We're very glad that we're the third highest number of Inc. 500 companies here in the state of Georgia, because that leads to killer marketing, which is what we're going to celebrate today. So thank you for showing up.
Thank you, Mike. The Bronze TAMY Award event sponsors today are CBeyond and Denmark. Thank you. And our media sponsors for the 2009 TAMY Awards are Business Wire and TechLinks. Thank you all. Without your generous support, we couldn't have events like these that bring together the leaders in technology marketing across Atlanta and Greater Georgia. First, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the organizers of this event. Special thanks goes to Donna Lewis Walker, who's one of the TAMY co-chairs this year and did not make it to the event today, unfortunately. I'd also like to thank my co-chair and laptop savior, because mine apparently didn't project this morning, Mr. David Sutton. I'd like to thank Alan Hess, our chairman of TAG Marketing, who was extremely hands-on and provided great leadership, and Amanda Shook, who organized all the logistics around the award submissions and the event itself. Lastly, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the leadership and the passing of the torch by Ed Gandia, who led the TAMYs tirelessly over the last few years. He provided a seamless transition to the new team. Thank you, Ed. This year we had a great panel of judges. For those who participated in the judging, thank you for your time, and thank you for ensuring objectivity and consistency in the evaluation process. Okay, before we get to the fun part, the results and the winners and our esteemed keynote speaker, I'd like to poll the audience. How many of you would consider yourselves horse racing fans? I mean, not many. Me neither. Truthfully, I don't consider myself a fan, yet I will say the majesty and the grace of the animals and their riders is both soothing and exciting, and big races are a spectacle, especially all those crazy hats. So, how many of you watched the Kentucky Derby a few weeks ago? Amazing race. Consider, a man bought a thoroughbred horse called Mine That Bird at a veritable fire sale. He spent the time and expense to truck him across the country from New Mexico to race against sheiks and titans of industry, only to come in as a 50-to-1 underdog and get put at the farthest gate away from the pole, the 13th position, which is essentially impossible to win from. As the race started, the horse was in dead last. It was a rainy, muddy day, and he was 30 lengths behind the leaders, with mud flying in the horse and rider's eyes. Imagine what was going through the jockey's mind. Then something incredible happened, and the inside rail parted like the Red Sea, and the horse and jockey took off for a historic finish to win, 50-1. Boy, do I wish I'd laid a wager on that race. Consider the risk that jockey, Calvin Burrell, took in accepting his place on the steed. I mean, these riders are paid for performance in a sport that is literally life-jeopardizing, and the odds were staggeringly poor. So last weekend, I was watching the Preakness, the second of the Triple Crown races, and I come to find out that the same jockey, Calvin Burrell, had taken another unbelievable risk. Because he never thought that Mind That Bird would even make it or be invited to the Preakness, he'd taken another assignment, this time to ride a filly named Rachel Alexandra. No filly had won the Preakness since 1924. In fact, no female horse had been entered to even race in the Preakness since 1964. That's 45 years ago. But he took the assignment and the risk, and he won again, improbably and against all odds. Can you imagine? So you're wondering, what does this have to do with technology marketing? I know it's a bit tangential, and but I see a really good analogy to what we're facing in today's marketplace. We can all take inspiration from Calvin Burrell because we, as tech marketers, need to take risks, now more than ever, to differentiate ourselves as marketing professionals and help our businesses through this difficult period. In the midst of one of the worst economies in the modern era, the tendency is to hunker down, play it safe, take a wait-and-see attitude, and forego risk rather than face the prospect of failure. Today, we'll learn about companies and organizations who have taken risks. One who had to completely rename and reposition their brand identity. Another who had to risk confusion in the marketplace after several acquisitions. And yet another who had to completely change the way they approached the market and alter who they targeted as their economic buyer for their services. We'll also get to know our keynote speaker, Ms. Penny McIntyre of the Coca-Cola Company, who will walk us through the maze of social media, show us the trends in Web 2.0, and maybe even provide a sneak peek at what Web 3.0 might look like. To be sure, as a technology marketer, the prospect of losing control of my company's brand due to the emergence of social media is unnerving. I can no longer control the conversation or the messaging or even the positioning of my brand. But I also feel strongly that with risks come rewards, and now is the time to take some chances, to be brave, to be flexible, to learn from my mistakes, and most importantly, to be different. Just taking a page from Calvin Burrell's playbook. So with that, let's get started on the awards. In this 9th annual TAMY Awards, we differentiate between emerging companies, companies with less than $10 million in annual revenues, and large companies, companies with revenues in excess of $10 million. This year we have 3 categories based on the submissions we received: corporate repositioning, marketing to the C-level, and marketing tactic. While Ernst & Young were not on hand to witness and verify the judging, there is, after all, no prize money, just a nice trophy for the winners for your lobby. I can assure you that the ballots contained qualitative and quantitative scoring, and that each ballot was kept secret from the other judges. There is a minimum score in order to qualify and become a finalist based on a number of factors, including completeness of the award submission.